So, good morning, everybody. A very warm welcome to all of you on behalf of Tushita. It is a great honor and pleasure to have with us Venerable Geshe Dorji Damdul again. Venerable Geshe Dorji Damdul is currently the director of Tibet House, New Delhi, the cultural center of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. While being assigned with this responsibility, he also gives regular lectures and teachings, including giving philosophy classes in Tibet House, besides in many other Dharma centers. He travels widely within India and abroad to teach Buddhist philosophy, psychology, logic, and practice. He has also worked on several books, as assigned by the Office of His Holiness the Dalai Lama's book, Ethics for a New Millennium, Part 2, and the book series Art of Happiness, which were jointly written by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Geshe has written a number of papers for national and international conferences on topics such as the paradox of the brain and mind and ultimate reality according to Arya Nagarjuna. He is currently working on two books, namely Journey into the Paradox of Brain and Mind and What Constitutes the Ultimate Reality, the Effects of Understanding the Ultimate Reality. Geshe, we are so happy that you accepted so gracefully to teach here today, and we always look forward to your teachings at Tushita. From the previous times, now we are having from 1 to 2 sessions today. And next time I hope we'll have 3 to 4. But I must say that today Geshe is going to speak on the practice of wisdom for cleansing our mind. And I really want to share with you all that Geshe is really a good example of combining philosophy, faith, and practice. So, Geshe, we look forward to your sessions today. And thank you so much for accepting to come here and teach.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Enugachi. Thank you so much. And it's a great joy for me to see my long-term friends like Venerable Namdullah, who I remember having met since both of us, we had black hairs. And then Venerable here, then Venerable the Tinzube Semingila, and Nicola here, and now here in Tushita Center, and the Tinzibiala also there, and many of my long-term friends here, and yes, in fact, my talks oftentimes can become a little technical, and some people like it, particularly people from academic background. They start to like it, whereas some people, they may expect that, okay, what is this? We're expecting some meditation, is talking all the time. Yeah, so the point is that it differs. It depends on the individual's temperament. So with this in mind, I'm just wondering if there's a way by which, like this, where out of my 3 years, so with this in mind, Okay, I don't think that we have any prayer book. Okay, so it's that we will recite some verses of refuge and bodhicitta. Meanwhile, those of us who may not have these verses on our fingertips, let us just make a commitment that, if possible, as His Holiness always wishes that people, if possible, to render service, help to other people, and if not, at least I'll not harm others. If this much you can commit yourself, that's good enough. Just set your motivation. And why this setting the motivation is important is for the reason that in the first place, the Tibetan great masters, they say that what you do, to what extent this will be of some benefit is determined by two things, two activities, one at the beginning and one at the end. At the beginning, if you set a proper motivation, for example, like you go to the universities, schools, colleges, universities, or workplace to your work, if you go there with the motivation that, okay, I'll try my best not to create any problem. I'll try my best to help the people whosoever is connected with me, be it my colleagues or the people who depend on our work. We'll make sure that we'll help them. So with this pure motivation, when you go there, of course, complications can arise. Complications may not necessarily 100% determined by you. It can be the other side creating problem on you, but the degree of the complication will be much less when you are mentally set that I will not create any complications. I'll try to help as much as possible. Then towards the end, dedicating the matters properly is very much like how the world operates. For example, if you win a lottery, huge amount of money, the question arises, what are you going to do with this? Which means that what are you going to dedicate this, the amount, for what purpose? That is the dedication. So likewise, the merit that we accumulate by attending these classes, it far excels billions of dollars. And some of you may not agree with me. Billions of dollars is very practical, but they say, attend this class, what will I get? But say those wise people who can see things broadly in space and in time, these people who see that yes, one moment of the listening to the teachings on how to cleanse your mind or how to identify your own potential, that far excels the gift of the entire universe filled with gems, gold, silver, diamond, and so forth. This is in fact what the Buddha himself declared, that one moment of generating compassion towards others far excels the gift of whole universe filled with gems and offered to all the Buddhist bodhisattvas. So this is what the Buddha very clearly indicated. And for the wise people, this will make total sense. And young people like this Sambalthundub and Drishti, these young people, for these young people, when I say that, hey, don't use your teeth to crush very hard things, whereas the elders will understand, yes, what he said makes sense. Young people will not understand it. No, it's just a piece of bone and it can crush. It has a capacity to crush it. But you don't know the impact of what you crush today will have after when you are in your 50s. Today, now I could feel that. In the olden times, even the Tibetans, we used to have the hard cheese. Hard cheese. Many of you don't have the idea. Cheese means soft. Not necessary. Right? Hard cheese are there. And young boys, when I was in my teenage, just crushing them like this, and now in my 50s. So I thought that the same, the imprint in my mind, crushing, and now I don't know whether the cheese is the teeth, my teeth crushing the cheese or cheese crushing the teeth. Young people will have no idea. So likewise, People who think that, what is this teaching? In what way this teaching far excels the gift of the whole universe filled with gems and offered to all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. So the money is very solid. And what is this teaching? Just for one day for me to be more at calm and peace. But the wise people who can see the impact in a very nuanced form, long term, these people will realize that that's very true. Okay, so who are these people? Only those people, all of us here, including the younger ones, when you are mentally prepared to go to search for your true potential inside, then you are going to be that person when you reach age 30, 40, 50s. Okay, having said this, the first setting proper motivation, let us visualize the enlightened beings. For example, like somebody is a Christian, you can think of Lord Jesus Christ. Somebody who is a Baha'i, you think of Bahula, Bab. And the Jainism, think of Lord Mahavir. And the Hindus, you can think of Lord Ram, Krishna, and so forth. And the following Islam, Prophet Muhammad, like Guru Nanak, then the Buddha. You can visualize all these enlightened beings. In fact, the beings who inspire you to become a happier person. And what does it mean by happier person? This is what we're going to learn in these 2 sessions. Okay, with this in mind, be inspired by all these beings. And alongside, when we say that, I'm going to be inspired to be a more happy person, more meaningful person. So thus far, if your life, you felt that it was so miserable and meaningless, worthless, but this is not who you are. Your true nature is very different. You have incredibly precious treasure. Everybody has this treasure. Okay, Aditi, please come. Everybody has this treasure, and the treasure of what we are seeking. We are seeking fearlessness, and we are seeking infinite happiness. And those of us who have been attending the lectures before, you know what I mean. Those who are listening for the first time, you may feel that, oh, what is this? Fearlessness, infinite. It does make sense, but then you may not be able to relate these two very directly. Don't worry about it. Anybody who you see as a source of inspiration for you, and also think of your two parents, all the family members, including children, and everyone. As human beings, animals, insects, hungry ghosts, hell beings, god and goddesses, spirits. And some of you may feel that, what is this? This is, how do you know that these things do exist? Don't worry, for the time being, just visualize all these things. And then later on, if you have questions, I'll be so happy to address even the basic questions. You may think that your questions are so basic, but perhaps one question that you ask may be like the question which many of them have in their minds to ask, may not be able to ask it, but you may be the one to ask this question and be of help to many people when the answer is given. And so with this in mind, don't hesitate to bring up your questions during the questions session. So with this in mind, what we're going to learn is that finally, that real treasure of what we are seeking. Say young people, I want to go for a startup, right? So that I become a millionaire in a few years. It's suddenly big. So it doesn't matter. Whatever there's nothing wrong in them. The real startup should happen from inside. And you will realize that it's not just a story. It's not just the dogma. This is the real treasure. Why startup? So that I can become the Mark Zuckerberg, second Mark Zuckerberg. So what if you become Mark Zuckerberg? What if you become Bill Gates? What? Then I'll have a lot of money. With money, then what? I'll be very famous. With famous, what? Then I'll be very happy. Finally, I'm happy. This is what you're seeking. It's not the money, it's not the fame, but the happiness is what you're seeking. So that happiness is actually within us. It's already within us. It's not outside. And outside is not that outside is totally the obsolete. It's totally irrelevant. No, this is not the point. Outside is very important. But say the seeking the happiness purely outside, that's a problem. Pure outside happiness is non-existent. Outside factors at the most can be like a trigger triggers for activating the seed inside, happiness inside. The real source of happiness is within, not outside. For example, the weather, the rain, and they help the apple seed to germinate. But the potential for the apple is not from the rain. Rain is just a trigger. The rain, soil, these are triggers. The real potential is in the seed. So the seed is within us, but external factors are required to activate it, this seed, once in a while. So with this in mind, keep in mind that find out to activate this. Okay, so the how, I don't know, but at least I'm learning today for the next 2 days, and the how to give a greater meaning to my own life. You, me, all of us. So whatever lifespan that we are left with now, let's just see how to make the most of the lifespan that we are left with. Let's not make sure that we don't waste our remaining part of life. Whatever religion that you're following is fine. It's not that you have to follow Buddhism, not necessary. But the thing is that whatever you're doing, make sure that you don't waste your life. Somebody who has the capacity to somebody who has the capacity to make the $1 million, if you make $500,000, everybody will say that, wow, that's amazing. It's not wow for you. You have the potential to make $1 million, and you are making only $500,000 means that you are not using potential full. Somebody who has the capacity to make only 1 lakh of rupees a year, if that person can make like 99 of the say 0.99 lakh rupees, it's good enough. You have used the potential. Somebody who has the potential to make 100 lakhs of rupees, 100 lakhs of rupees per year, and if you make only 50, compared to this 0.99, not even 1 lakh, in comparison with that person, I did a great job. No, it's a shame on you. You have the potential to give rise to 1 crore rupees. It's not just 1 lakh, 1 crore rupees. You have that potential. So the point is that we have to don't feel complacent with, okay, I'm happy with my life. I came here just to chill out, right? And it's good, it's nice. No, don't be complacent with your life. I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to me also, myself. Each one of us, we have to make sure that we don't waste our life. Waste our life meaning that in comparison with others, if you're doing better, this is not the mark of your success. The real mark of success is what potential you have. If the average potential is just, say, the 6 out of 10, and you have a potential 9 out of 10, if you use only 6 or 7, the point, this is a shame on you. It's very sad on you. So make sure that you use your full potential to make sure that towards the end of your life, you see, this is the purpose of my life. Now I see that. And now I can see something more. You don't need anybody else to tell you what's the purpose of life and how to make the life more meaningful. So this is the purpose of a journey of this, the path. So with this in mind, so finally, I'm going to awaken the seed of perfection within myself. And with this, the 2 sessions that we're going to undertake here and do the Tushita Center, I will make the most of my being here. Okay, say if you have space there, well and good. If not, there's a space here also. Here also, maybe the boys, you can come this side. Okay. Okay, with this in mind, let us recite some verses in English, first in Tibetan, then in English. Sanye juda zoge chonam la chanjo bado dane gyabzu che dage jinso kebe sonam tola benjir sanye dubare sho sanye juda zoge chonam la chanjo bado dane gyabzu che dage jinso kebe sonam tola benjir sanye dubare sho sanye juda zoge chonam la Chanju bardo dane gyabso che dage jinso kebe sonamge tola penjere sangye drubare sho. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha by my accumulations through the practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha by my accumulations through the practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha by my accumulations through the practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato hyavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vate mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Yata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhisvatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhisvatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhisvaha. Okay, today the topic is on the cleansing the mind on the basis of the understanding deeper philosophy. And in this connection, of course, we need to begin with many questions, and alongside that, it's going to be in the form of, many of you know that the teachings which I do usually is very interactive. The meaning that I expect it's not like you unilaterally that you listen to me, and you know why this encouraged. You know why there's interaction happening is for the reason that finally, I say something, I share with you my thoughts, and these thoughts, whether you agree not agree, it's not necessary that you have to agree, but at least you have to know that he said it. For example, like I say 2 plus 10 equals 20, and you will laugh at me. You getting it? So at least you've understood what I said. You getting it? So when you go out, he said, that's why I thought that 2 plus 10 equals 12, but he said 20. So I learned something new. This is not how you leave this place. How you leave this place is strange. He said, he even doesn't know the mathematics. 2 plus 10 equals 20. This is wrong. It's odd. It's so weird. Right? So if you go with this attitude, which means that you got me correct, because you've understood what I've said. You have understood the wrong that I said as wrong. You You're getting it? So this is the basic spirit with which you have to listen to my talk. The point is that you have to really understand what I'm saying. You're getting it? Whether you agree, not agree, that is a different story. You don't push yourself to agree with me. The thing is that you have to understand what I'm saying. And then see if it makes sense. If it makes sense, that is best. The whole purpose of being together is for that purpose. Whereas if it doesn't make sense, don't worry. At times, that the even if it doesn't make sense, at that very moment, sometimes what I would suggest is that they say if somebody gives you something and if you don't know what it is for, just keep stacking in your room, right? And later one day, when you become expert in these areas, then you see what I collected, what I collected many years ago, and you may say, oh, they are very important, many important things there. So my attitude towards life is don't accept things easily, don't reject things easily. Let me repeat it. Don't accept things easily, don't reject things easily. If somebody tells you and if you don't understand it, they don't reject it simply because that you don't agree. Don't reject it. Keep it. It doesn't mean that you agree. You're getting it? You don't have to agree. But if you reject, we never know. It can be diamond covered in mud. We never know. And if you accept it readily, it may be poison inside. We never know. So, with that sense of caution, take it, don't accept it, don't reject it. Okay, so with this in mind, nowadays we see that I personally would come across many people, and oftentimes very sad stories, the loss of near and dear ones, loss of your mother, loss of your father, loss of your grandfather, grandmother, and so forth. All these things are what I'm hearing every day. Early morning I get a message, it's all about these things, and then I say prayers for them. They request for prayers, I say prayers for them, and I give some the advice to them. But when I give the advice, I always tell myself that you are giving advice, but you also will also disappear one day. You're getting it? We should be mindful of that also. It's not that I'm giving advice, oh, but unfortunate, I'm very sorry, that is that so like it will not happen to me. No, it will happen to every one of us. Believe it or not, at the time of the Indian independence, population of India was about like 200 million. By the time Indian independence, today is 1 billion. Today is 1 billion. 200 years ago, world population may be like 1 billion. Today is 8 billion human beings. 200 years ago, say 1 billion human beings. Today we are these human beings. They're all gone. You're getting it? They're all gone. So today 8 billion human beings. 150 years down the line in the future, at the most 1 or 2 persons will be left. Remaining will be gone. And out of these 8 billion human beings, 99.999% of the people, the new generation will not even have a clue who you as a person existed. Will have no clue. So with this in mind, we have to remember all these things. In other words, we learn how to see things from far away in time and in space. Then we will become very realistic person. If you see only things locally, today, in time, in space, just my house, then you'll feel suffocated. You'll feel suffocated, and then if you have a problem, you'll not know how to solve the problem. But if you know things broad in space, in time, then if you have this problem there, okay, I've seen that part of the world also. There, this problem is solved through this approach. Then you can apply it here. So that way, overall, your mind will, there's emotional balance created where your mind will not be in stress. So you will only see things in relative terms, not in absolute terms. So having said this, what I'm sharing with all of us is that we are all bound to meet with difficult situations. Okay, Vikram, you come here. We have a space here. Good. And they that when we do encounter with such situations, we have to know a little bit. Sometimes we always also talk about ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss. There's nothing good in it. Don't remain in ignorance. Don't remain in ignorance. There's nothing good in it. But don't remain in garbage of information. There's also problem. You're getting it? So all these Facebook, Instagram, unnecessary information, right? Say the same information, you hear it 10, 20 times from different sources. Information is one. And then meanwhile, it is just so many things are added, deleted, according to one's own taste. The media, they taste, according to their taste, they added, deleted, so many things happen. And then you get information, it gives you such a scary impression of the world. So that way, it is so and then the people are also very happy to look at the filters. The filters. Wow, this is amazing, amazing, amazing. This is just so extremely silly on our part. Extremely silly. This is how we are wasting our time. And let us, each one of us, be very honest. Say the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you've been watching this Instagram, Facebook, and so forth. Today, tell me what information is left with you today, which is constructive and meaningful. Out of 100, 0.0001, 99.9%, they're all garbage. You're getting it? So why I'm saying this is that it's so important that particularly young people, younger ones, not only younger ones, even the elder ones, also younger ones nowadays, right? There was even the elder ones also after this, right? You go to the airport, everybody's like this, right? And you go to the office, is everybody like this? So the point is that this is a problem. So there, in other words, how to learn to use our time productively. I'm saying this to you, I'm saying this to me also, myself. Luckily, I don't really have the time to go through all these things. Why? Not because that I'm good, because that the situation keep me so busy, right? Like this teaching, Tibetan teaching, and so forth. And then, although I'm at home, still I have to prepare for evening teaching. So that way, I'm lucky that way. So I can talk like this. Otherwise, if I'm not in this situation, I'm not too sure. Right? The point is that we should be wise, not to make sure that our time is not wasted. Okay. Having said this, the difficult situations, when we encounter with difficult situations like the loss of a near and one, so forth, so how to tackle these situations? This is so important. While we talk about awakening your true nature, to cleanse our mind, to awaken the diamond within us. Each one of us, we have this diamond. And oftentimes, if we are so engrossed, infatuated with external attractions, meaning that pulled by external things like medias and so forth, the danger is that you'll forget yourself. You'll forget yourself, and at one time, you see that when you so-called success, many people will be around you. The moment you will say it's the success because of your youth. When the youth is gone, all the people will disappear from your life. You will start to feel yourself so lost and lonely. And if the so-called success is because of your money, when the money is gone, again the people will disappear from your life. Believe it or not, how many of you had that experience? Raise hands. With your youth, money, power, influence, or connection, even if you are nobody, but you have a good connection with somebody, people know that you have this connection, they come to you. You become very important. The moment that connection is gone, then everybody disappears from your life. How many of you had that experience? Raise hands. Okay. Young ones, if you don't have this experience, don't worry. They are waiting for you. They are waiting for you. This experience are waiting for you. Okay, Venerable Anila, come. Venerable Amila, come. Yeah, come. If you have extra cushions, please spare your extra cushions. Anila, come here. Come here. The cushions. Chavi, make sure that you have cushion. Okay. Okay, now please take your seats. Please take your seats. Okay. What was I saying? Yes. Okay. And then they say, in your life, once upon a time, say you have so many people, and then suddenly all these people disappear from your life. How you react? There are two ways of reacting. One will say that, what is this world is extremely nasty. When I have this, all these people they come, and then I did this to this person, I did this to that person, and now they're all gone. Right? The world is nasty. This is one way of reacting. Another way of reacting is very different. Okay, now I realized another reality, which I never expected, but this is a reality. So I'm so glad that I've discovered this reality. People come and disappear for whatever reason. They come. If it's for my youth is gone, people disappear. If it's for money, my money is gone, people disappear. If my power, the power is gone, people disappear. Okay, this is the one reality, right? Reality, they don't complain. They don't complain. This is reality I discovered. So thus far, seeing that, oh, all these wonderful people there with me, I'm so lucky, which means that I'm too naive. I'm only seeing one part of the story. I'm not seeing the full story. So that way, how you react is not only the people disappearing, and how you react is also another, say, the examination for you to examine, what is your what is your mindset, how you think. So with this in mind, if you know that you have the treasure inside, so when the people around you, you are happy. When the people are gone, you feel sad, which means that you are identifying the treasure outside. So when you cut off from the outside treasure, then you see that you are poor. You're suffering from poverty in terms of your joy. But whereas if you discover that the treasure is inside, no matter what happens to outside the world, people come, well and good. You get the opportunity to practice generosity, kindness, and so forth. People are gone. Again, it's a great lesson learning for me that the true treasure is within me, it's not outside. It's a very clear indication that is a lesson for me that the true treasure is within me, not outside. So that way we see that you can take any situation in your own hand, that it should not disturb your mind. This is so important. So with this in mind, we encounter with difficulties like the loss of near and dear and so forth. What is really happening? And many people, they have no clue what after death. They have no clue. And then they think that, well, it happens to everybody, so what? Right? And different religions, they talk like this, but then who knows? And you don't even attempt to explore what is that like after this. So with this in mind, today, the two sessions, as Professor Rinpoche requested, this is a great opportunity for me, that meeting with all of you, and then I was constantly contemplating on how to to lead this class, the two sessions, and I was thinking of doing a little differently, rather than the way in which I used to do in a very formal, proper, step by step, very systematic. Instead of that, to do slightly differently. So today I'm thinking of taking the text, which is known as How the Bodhisattvas Should Behave at the Time of the Last Hour of His Life. So the text is there in this book. If you have the blaze, the Tibet House book, The Blaze of Non-Dual Bodhicittas, soft copy, hard copy, whichever you have. It should be yes. So don't worry about that too much. In the second session we will use it. It's a very short text. It's a sutra actually, and the Nicola will send it to all of us. Okay, the text is known as the Noble Mahayana Sutra, Wisdom at the Hour of Death. The Noble Mahayana Sutra, Wisdom at the Hour of the Death. In fact, this is in the form of response which the Buddha gave to the Bodhisattva Akashagarbha as to how a Bodhisattva should think during the last days of his or her life. And in this connection, it's not like for the Bodhisattvas it's fine, but for us, it's not like, okay, I'll remember this and then towards the last hour of my death, I'll think like this. Or when I encounter with somebody, like my family members or somebody going through last days, I'll make them to think like this. No, it's a long preparation. It is like saying that, for example, say if you want to win a Nobel laureate, become a Nobel laureate, then you have to know quantum physics. If you want to become Nobel laureate in physics, you have to learn quantum physics, right? If you learn quantum physics and then you go there's a chance for you to become a Nobel laureate in physics. Okay, whenever I like to have this, then I will think of quantum physics. For that, you have to know quantum physics. Quantum physics is not like listening to a lecture, one-time lecture. You getting it? This requires a lot of preparation for us. Likewise, all what we're studying here, this is something which is extremely profound, and this will help us identify your true nature. Each one of us, who you are, each one of us will, and then we'll learn how to invest more time to uncover this treasure rather than look for the treasure outside. Okay, so and why this text they caught my eyes and my attention is because that when I was translating for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, there was almost 2020, 2004. How many years now? 20 years, right? Time flew, right? When Chavi was not born, when Sagar was not born, right? Okay, when the Sambhatindu was not born and Drishti was not born, not born or 1 or 2 years old, not born, 2020, 2004, you're born 1 year old. Chavi was not born and Piala was not born. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm saying is that when I was translating for His Holiness, so how this text came to my attention. And then later I came to feel that this text is extremely precious. Okay, during His Holiness's interview on the there was somebody who was coming up with some questions on Dharma, and then I was there as a translator in His Holiness's residence. And then His Holiness will be giving the response, and oftentimes His Holiness was referring to this text, particularly the commentary written by the 7th Dalai Lama. I'm curious to actually write to translate the commentary on this. If this was you remind me, if we can translate the commentary on this, the sutra is very short. It's just about 1 page, 1.5 pages, but a commentary by the 7th Dalai Lama. I'm wondering whether it's available in English or not. If not, I would be happy to translate. And nowadays, I don't know the age. Because of the age now, hitting 50, I become more enthusiastic to translate the important, sutras, because time is passing, nearing, and so that we have to do the maximum with the available time. And so I'm thinking of, if recently I just checked with one of my friends about Lama Tsongkhapa's a classic text in Tibetan, Lekshe Nyingpo, the eloquent speech, essence of the eloquent speech by Lama Tsongkhapa on the philosophy of Chittamatra and Madhyamaka. It's an extremely important thing, and it was many years ago, about like 20 years ago, 20 or 19 years ago, when I was with Dr. Tushita. I just inquired if there's any possibility for him to translate this into English, and I vaguely remember that he said yes, but then thus far, of course, this book, incredibly precious treasure for all the English-speaking people, meaning that who depend on English. Lama Tsongkhapa's the commentary on Madhyamaka Avatara, in the illuminating the true intent, that was translated by Tushita, is extremely beautiful translation. We used this last year for the study of Madhyamaka Avatara. How many days? 15 days in Deer Park. We used his translation, and then there are several translations, but I would say the one by him is so well done, and this is incredibly a great treasure for the people who depend on English. Otherwise, all these brilliant the commentaries, the legacies remain in Tibetan language, not translated into the foreign languages. So therefore, that is available, and I'm keen that the essence of eloquent speech by Lama Tsongkhapa, if that be made available in English. So I just checked with somebody, and Professor Jeffrey Hopkins, he did a part of it, and he was still the first part on Chittamatra. I know that it was already translated, published many years ago, almost 15, 16 years ago. But second half, I checked, and then it's still in the pipeline. It's not really out. So I'm keen that it was translated. So likewise, the commentary on this text is something which I'm keen that be translated, made available for the English, because that from the Nalanda studies conducted by Tibet House, we see that people can very quickly reach to that level of understanding the philosophy in depth, and these people, they really need to have the more solid materials, not like the easy commentaries, but the solid commentaries like Lama Tsongkhapa's text. We can see that people can grow so fast. As such, these commentaries are required for the English-speaking people. This is what I like to share with you. Okay, so having said this, now you hear how the Bodhisattvas, how should a Bodhisattva think when he or she is nearing the last days, or nearing his the death or passing away. So here, then the Buddha identified that, for example, for us, when we leave the world, what's the feeling like? What's the feeling like? They say you can see many other people having left the world, and you read how the people left, and you can see that how I can also, how I may also feel like that. Say, oh, now I'm going to be separate from my family, I'm going to be separate from my my wealth, my property, my this, my that. So you may feel a great loss of separation. Why? So what's the problem? If you are separate from them, then these are sources of my support, these are sources of my, say, the happiness, joy. No, real joy is inside you. So Buddha is identifying that. So you are actually, wherever you travel, you have the seed of joy within you. Ultimate seed of joy. It's not just metaphorical. It's not just like a story. It's a reality. You are actually carrying this, the most precious treasure in the universe is always with you. The only thing is that if you don't uncover it, then it'll always be seen as a mud. But if you uncover it, it's not a mud, it's a gold inside. It's a pure gold inside there. So this is what the Buddha is identifying. You your potential, not like the Bodhisattva's potential, your potential. When you become a Bodhisattva, your potential, this is what the Buddha is helping us identify, this potential within us. And then the Buddha helps us identify the potential on the various levels. Same for a small child, like age 1, 2, 3, right? If you're able to say the mummy, right? Then your family members will be so happy, right? Then when it's age 3, 4, 5, you say mummy. What mummy? You should be able to say A for apple, right? If you're able to say A for apple, then they'll say applaud you, right? Then you're already 10 years old, still A for apple. No. So there you should be able to say the aeroplanes fly because of what? Because of the air, right? Propeller and so forth, right? And then so class 12 aeroplanes fly because of the air. No, you should be able to say the whole whole solar system, how they operate. And then when you class 12, you should be able to say how universe, the solar system, just a part of the one side of the Milky Way galaxy, and the whole solar system is moving along with the rest of the Milky Way galaxy, which in turn is a part of a tiny dot of the whole universe. So you should keep evolving. Likewise, to the Buddha nature inside, the seed of perfection within us, each one of us, your potential within us, the Buddha is identifying, helping us to identify that on various levels. They are so precious. And I don't know why for this class, these 2 sessions, this desire with me, or this aspiration within me, came up to touch this. And the text, this is so precious. Okay, so with this in mind, first of all, for some of you, it may turn out to be a little technical, and you may feel bored, and I'm not going to blame you for that. If you feel bored or too technical, they take it as your pride. You know why? Because otherwise you will never hear these complicated topics. You're getting it? And you have a potential to understand way beyond these complicated topics. So if you don't take the opportunity, you will never learn. You will never learn how to uncover your true potential inside. You will never learn the skill. And if you don't learn the skill, you will forever continue to suffer in your life. Not only in this life, future lives as well. We all have the potential. In other words, never underestimate your potential. Believe it or not, say if you have the intelligence as sharp as that of Arya Nagarjuna, Albert Einstein, particularly Arya Nagarjuna, for sure you will not come to attend my lecture here. You're getting it? And if you do come, you come here to check on me, right? So is he teaching something authentic, or he is creating his own ism, right? Okay, so the point is that they say, believe it or not, when you think about Arya Nagarjuna, Arya Sangha, Acharya Vasubandhu, Acharya Dignaga, Acharya Dharmakirti, Albert Einstein, Niels Bohr, and so forth. And look at Charles Darwin. It's amazing. I really feel so infatuated or really amazed by the wonder of the brilliance of Charles Darwin. It's amazing. One person taught the whole range of the biology, evolution. It's amazing. So, and then say Albert Einstein, relativity theory, Niels Bohr, Heisenberg, talking about the principle of the quantum mechanics. It's just amazing. So today, then the one who passed away, Stephen Hawking, a brilliant, a genius. So likewise today, like Michio Kaku, these professors, brilliant physicists, really gifted with incredible brilliance. So the point is that when you think of these people, you may get a feeling that when I mention these people's name, you may get a feeling that, oh, they are special. I'm not special. Resents? I'm just ordinary. Believe it or not, you also have the potential to understand these nuanced, sophisticated topics to the level that they understood. You also have the potential. If you don't put effort to uncover this potential, you will never reach that level. You have the potential, but you will never reach there unless until you become confident that I do have the potential. And it should not be done on the basis of blind faith. It must be done through systematic studies. Systematic studies, for example, like these complicated topics which we're going to discuss in these 2 sessions, and you may feel a little lost. That some of the people here, they seem to be so interested, so like glued there, but for me it doesn't make any sense. You may feel like that, right? So just keep in mind that if you are being consistent with these technical classes, being consistent, say the first few months you may feel a little lost, and over time you will start to understand what is being taught there. For example, I remember that this girl, Drishti raised hand. So this girl, when her brother there, and then the 2 parents, when they first came to meet me with these 2 children, and then when talking about these complicated topics, she could not follow. Then she attended the retreats once, twice, when she was 19 years old. Then at one point, I invite questions, she would ask questions, and questions are so good. And I ask questions, and she would give the answer in public, in the classroom. Answers that she gave is so good. So just see, within the short span of time, there's a sudden explosion of the knowledge happening. And it happens to all of us. It's a matter of opportunity. And who can steal this opportunity? Nobody can steal this opportunity from you. Only you can steal this opportunity. Only you can deprive yourself of this opportunity. How? To say that I cannot. This is the greatest of failure. Let me repeat it. Only when you say that I cannot, I don't have this potential. This is the greatest failure. Nobody can fail you. It's only you who can fail you. In this world, hundreds and thousands of people, like Albert Einstein, said that you are a hopeless person, right? And he cannot fail you. Only you can fail you. Very successfully you can fail you. How? You said, no, I cannot. I don't have this capacity, right? Then you give up. That is the greatest of the failure. So with this in mind, what I'm saying is that never underestimate your potential. You have an incredible potential. Only thing is that this potential that you have, Albert Einstein has, His Holiness the Dalai Lama has, this potential. On the level of the potential, they're all identical. There's no difference. That their potential is higher the level and your potential lower level. No, it's same. Only thing then, but there's obvious difference here. For His Holiness, whatever actions that he engages in, there's a tremendous degree of the power of the mindfulness. Every action that he's doing, there's a mindfulness there. And we talk about mindfulness practice. So that may make sense only when we are, okay, I'm doing mindfulness practice, I'm lifting my hand up, I'm putting down. The moment the practice session is gone, mindfulness is gone. But for His Holiness, he will not come up with the label, I'm doing mindfulness practice. 24/7 is extremely sophisticatedly nuanced mindfulness practice. Mindfulness of compassion, mindfulness of wisdom, mindfulness of every action that he's doing is so high level. So how come that he has reached such level and we are so ordinary? If the 2 potentials are identical, that is a matter of opportunity. Buddha Shakyamuni, once upon a time, many eons ago, he was as ordinary as what we are today. Even worse than what we are today. But today, he's very different. He's the inspiration. He's the beacon of hope, inspiration for all of us. How come that he became like this? Once upon a time when we were better than him. How come that he became one like this? Because that he put effort. First of all, he got this confidence. I too have this perfect potential. I need to awaken this. Okay. So with this in mind, I'll say, what is that potential? Once you know this potential, then you see that, wow, that's amazing. Real joy and happiness is not coming from outside. Outside things can actually be as like the trigger for invoking this, the joy within me, the source of happiness within me, and real sources within myself. So this conviction must be gained. Once you gain this conviction, then all our efforts must be invested towards that direction, to awaken this potential within us. Okay, so this potential within us, technically it is known as Buddha nature. And Buddha doesn't mean Buddhism. You're getting it? Right from the beginning, I told you that when you talk about when you talk about, so this class is not for to convert you. In fact, what I would encourage you is that if you are a Muslim, remain a good Muslim. If you are a Hindu, remain a good Hindu. Christian, remain a good Christian. Sikh, Baha'i, or following Zoroastrianism. Whatever you're following, remain a good practitioner of that thing. At the same time, there's no harm. You can enjoy pizza. You don't have to become Italian. You can enjoy pizza. You can enjoy momo. Don't become Tibetan. You can enjoy momo. You're getting it? Yeah. So no need to become the Tibetan, or no need to become Chinese, right? Better remain Indian than become Chinese. Right? But Chinese overall, CCP is a problem. Not all Chinese. Right? Chinese, amazing culture. CC is a problem. With the ideology, communist ideology, this is a problem. This is a problem. Okay. So with this in mind, the Buddha nature, when you speak of the Buddha means Buddhism. No. Buddha is a Sanskrit word. It means awakening. Awakening. Anybody can be awakened. Anybody can be, with respect to quantum physics, the Niels Bohr is awakened. With respect to relativity theory, Albert Einstein is awakened. At the time of Albert Einstein, it was once believed that there were only 3 people on this planet Earth who understood relativity theory. Only 3 people. And one time, one person asked a physicist friend of Albert Einstein, is it true that there are only 3 people on the planet Earth who understood relativity theory? And a physicist friend of Albert Einstein, he was not giving an answer, he was just contemplating. And the third person said that, is it not true? He said, wait, I'm thinking of who the third person is. Why the first person is Einstein, second person himself, and third person he was not sure. You're getting, he was thinking of who that third person is. So look, so they are awakened in their own disciplines. Likewise, with the evolutionary theory, Charles Darwin is awakened. So awakened doesn't mean the Buddha, but the Buddhism. So Buddha means the awakened one. Awakened one, somebody who's awakened. Somebody who put effort to awaken their own potential fully, so that they don't have to rely on external factors to trigger this happiness inside. So this happiness already awakened fully, that no external factors, all the external factors become totally redundant, totally irrelevant to you, because that your joy and happiness is 24/7. That is the point when you become the full awakened being. Okay. So with this in mind, we have if I were to tell you that when you feel happy, what is that? Is it the physical? What we have is, since that our class here is purely empirical in nature. Empirical meaning something which we can experience. We are not going to talk something which we cannot experience. So for example, when you feel sad, when you feel happy, what is that? Is it your physical body or is it your mental? I feel sad. Mental or physical? Mental. And some of you may say it's the brain, nothing to do with the mental, it's the brain. It doesn't matter, brain for time being. And I'm sure that amongst you, there are some who are really interested to know the difference between brain and mind. This is extremely important topic, and yet it requires a lot of proper studies. Otherwise, say some people may say that, oh, brain and mind, these two are different. And when you go to listen to the talk, it's all about the stories, somebody remembered the past life stories, and it doesn't really help us much. These stories are helpful, but these stories should not be the main reason to prove that there is a mind which is different from the brain. It should be a logical explanation rather than telling stories. Stories can be used as like the support for us. For example, like Professor Stevens last time, Dr. Renugaji was invited as the chairperson to chair the speech by the lady professor who talked about the reincarnation and the birthmarks. So that lady professor talked more from the academic the standpoint. And so what I'm saying is that, for example, Professor Stevenson from the America, and I learned that he passed away. He spent about 50 years in this research. So all the anecdotes that he shared, that would be extremely helpful for us. But what I would say is that they can be used as a support, not as a main reason. The main reason should be used to explain things in a very logical way, rather than saying that somebody remembered the past life, somebody, this child, narrated his or her past life anecdotes and then taken to the place, and when they tell you so well. These things are there. But I would say that, like Pramana Vartika, Acharya Dharmakirti's text, where the reincarnation is explained purely through logic. So these are things we need to learn. In other words, what I'm saying is that this class, 2 sessions, is to be something very empirical, something very experiential, not like, having to believe in something. Okay. So with this in mind, when you speak about I'm happy, I'm sad, it's all about your mental state. It's about a mental state. It's not about really physical. The physical, for example, you have cheesecake, you feel happy. Okay, seems like cheesecake everybody loves. Your eyes, become even more. Wow, suddenly there's something which is so pleasant to hear, right? Okay, so so there you have a physical, the tender feeling with the cheesecake. When you say sad, I'm happy, these are all mental. You getting it? Say the physical happiness and the mental happiness, they are slightly different. For example, with a cheesecake, only when you have the cheesecake, have it, there's a physical, when the cheesecake is gone, then that happiness is gone. But still, if the happiness is left, it is purely mental. You getting it? Not the physical. Physical happiness is related to the physical stimulus. When this physical stimulus is gone, then the physical happiness is gone. But still, if you feel happy, it is on the mental level. For example, you think of your mom who has been so kind, nice to you, right? And this feeling joy happening in you. Are they related to the hormonal, the movement? 100% yes. You getting it? Even the mental, the joy, happiness, they can be triggered by the movement of the energy within your body. And today, the energy that the Buddhist psychophysical explanation of the energy versus the hormones explained in the biology, the biochemistry. So these two are not 100% same. They bear great similarities and parallels, but they're not 100% same. Why not 100% same is that when we go through deep sleep, or when we go through coma state, or when we go, particularly I would say when we go through what is known as a clinically death state. So there, all the hormones, they stop, movements stop. But still, there's the energy that you feel. There is a very subtle energy which the neuroscientists, they cannot explain. Okay, keeping that aside, so what we're talking about is that there's the happiness that we feel something from inside, mental. And just give a thought to yourself. Let's say any moment, one moment which is extremely pleasant moment, extraordinarily pleasant moment, right? Genuinely present moment. Genuinely present moment, right? Why I'm adding this word genuinely, or some of you understand it. You're getting it? Okay, otherwise some are very, wow, this is the most beautiful, and then after some conflicts, this beautiful moment disappears. You're getting it? Or they given that aside, this is not genuine. And for you it seems so genuine, right? It's not genuine. That you'll know when what has come, right? Okay, so what I'm saying is that very genuine feelings, genuine feeling of the calmness, peace, extremely beautiful moment which you have never experienced before. Just think of such moments. Think of that moment. And if you take a pill and you could feel that extraordinary calmness, tranquility, the joy, embracing, tenderness. If there is a pill consuming which gives rise to this feeling, then this pill will be extremely expensive. Then everybody, all the billionaires will take charge of these. But such a pill is non-existent, and yet we could feel that experience once in a while. Okay. Anybody who likes to share such a moment? Anyone? Raise hands. I know what Minodi is going to say. I know, right? I'll not ask her, right? I'll not ask her. I know what she's going to say. Anyone else? Young ones. Young ones. For me, actually, I would say that one moment which was so vividly that I could remember that happened was when I was in my 30s. When I was in my 30s. And then the one was which I vaguely remember when I was like maybe 3 or 4 years old with my mom. Anyone else? Any one such moment which was extremely beautiful, which you never experienced before? Anyone with hands? In the mountains, Kashmir mountains. In fact, the Dharamsala above TCV school, that the hill, the forest area, many years ago when I was little, I was in my teenage, when we would go there, I could feel like what Professor Renu was just explaining. Feeling of sanctity, peace. Then gradually more and more people started to build their huts there. That sanctity disappeared. Now we don't feel it anymore. And it's not only me. Many people used to feel the same thing when they go in this forest. Anyone else? Okay. Yes, Vikram.
Yeah, well, I remember, as a child, when I had less of all these preconceived notions, less conceptualizations around my imagination being something unimportant, or something unreal, let's say. But any experience I had was full of wonder and imagination and sanctity and spontaneity, and there was that same type of peace and joy.
Wonderful. Thank you. Vikram, thank you. Anyone else?
And being with His Holiness.
Being with His Holiness. Yeah, this is amazing experience. Many people share. Many people say the same thing. Anyone else?
There's a place city called Barmir in Rajasthan. There are very beautiful sanctums over there, and population is very less. You hardly see any people. So I went there after a period of 10, 12 years, and I could feel that peace.
Oh,
I was very happy that was.
yes. I agree with you. In fact, that I felt when I was in, what is that place? I forgot this name very frequently. There's one place in South India. Predominantly, that place they are churches, Christian churches, and my friends took me there, and when I just entered into that, not the campus, in that place, that feeling, how your name, how Mr. Praveen, how he explained, I start to feel that there's a calmness, sanctity, tranquility, extremely tender feeling was started to come to me. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so anyone else? It can also happen in dreams. Yes, of course it happens in dreams also. Yes. Aditya? Okay, Aditya is saying that for the online the participants, Aditya is saying that when he was once in the center, somewhere in the sitting in the some few months ago, okay, sitting somewhere in the middle, and then seeing the statue of Aramatria. Whole universe is flowing towards him from the statue. Flowing towards you from the statue. Wonderful, thank you. Okay, gentleman over there, your name? Kunal, yes. Okay, what Kunal is saying is very interesting. When he was reading a book, 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes passed. Okay, what Kunal is saying is that when he was reading a book, the book which was describing a situation like 100 years ago, and he can relate to that very easily. What the people are talking, what kind of situation, he could relate it very easily. And feel connected across time, connected with those that time, the people there, the situation there. And I would say that many of you may have the same experience, particularly when you were reading those books when you were in your teenage. Yes, yes, that was during your teenage or in your 20s. Okay, before 30. Yes, your 20s. So which means teenage and 20s. Yes, you connect. So most likely, my speculation would be that you say when you are very young, meaning age below age 5, 6, your mind is predominantly acting on the basis of the imprint from the past life. From 6, 7 through to like say the 18, 19, right? You start to act the half from the past, from this life both, because you are being influenced by this life imprint so greatly. So half. So reading books can connect you very easily. So now, in your 30s, read the same book. See if you can connect. And most likely you will not connect. Because your mind is acting predominantly by the imprints of this life. This life, not by the past lives. So people who remember the past lives usually happen before age 5. Usually before age 5. Rare exceptions, age 6, 7. Even those people who remembered the past life during that age, when they hit age like say the 11, 12, 13, they forget the past memories. They could not remember anymore. Okay, so these things happen. So what I'm saying is that now let us listen to Minodiji. Okay, Isar, close your ears. Yes, Minodiji, please share your. When Isar was born, the day one Isar was born, the day one Isar was, the Minodiji as a mother was holding Isar. Who is Isar? Somewhere in the world? He's here. So she was holding Isar, the newborn, 1-day-old child, and the description that she gave that day was extremely touching, and I don't think he was there at that point. He was not there, so description is so beautiful. When he was there, description is a little different. right? So what Minoji explained was exactly what another gentleman said. And we all need to remember these anecdotes. These are so important. We should not forget this. That it was in the, what is that? Vana Healing Center, Vana Retreat in Dehradun. So I was conducting a teaching like this, and I asked the same question, and everybody was talking about like what Minoji was saying. And there's one gentleman from England. He must be in his 30s, and what he said was that the most beautiful moment in his life was holding the hand of his 1-day-old daughter. And when he was saying this, he was literally in tears. I could feel what kind of emotion was going in his mind. So tell me, who is that 1-day-old daughter, 1-day-old son? Who is that? Who's that? Each one of us. You're getting it? Don't think that maybe who's that, the fortunate girl. No, each one of us. Believe it or not, 90% of the people, here I would say 99% of the people here went through this same state. That the mother and the father took pride in your coming into existence on this planet Earth. And what are you going to do to make them proud? I don't know. But they feel that you as a source of pride for them. They feel so happy. Today, if you meet somebody who takes pride in your existence, with this run you to tears to see your existence, would you be happy to see that person is not? 100% yes. And who is that? In this world, forget about Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. For the time we don't have that capacity to see them. But when we can readily see them, you feel that. For example, today if you see somebody of that, like that person who feels pride in your existence, for you do nothing, right? Nothing is something good for the world, but still they took pride in your existence. They feel just becoming so teary, just seeing your existence. And no doubt the kind of feeling that will go through your mind is going to be extremely beautiful. You're getting it? It's going to be extremely beautiful. And this is the kind of experience even no pills, no money can buy this experience. This experience is so beautiful. And this experience, where is it coming from? Is it coming from external? No. External factor, somebody seeing you as the pride of that person. That person is serving as a trigger. And the joy, that extremely beautiful, tender, the sacred joy is coming from within. So there's a source inside. Say, you squeeze a handful of sand, oil comes out or not? Hey, you squeeze a handful of sand, oil comes out or not? It doesn't come. Hey, don't say yes. You're getting it? Right? It doesn't come out. Then no oil comes out. Okay, you squeeze a handful of sunflower seeds, oil comes out? Yes. Okay, what's the difference? Quick. What's the difference? Say, in this sunflower seeds, there's a potential for oil inside. Versus sand, there's no potential for oil. How many agree with me? Online, offline, all of you? We agree. What's your name? What do we agree with Anjali, right? Saying that there's a seed. Unless there's a seed, the potential for the oil there, unless there's the potential, oil will not come out, even however much you may squeeze it. Whereas if there's a potential, the oil comes out, means it is a potential there. So likewise for us, there's somebody takes pride in existence, and the person feels so connected, so embracing, tender, seeing you, and then you will just melt into the ease, beautiful moment. So where this beautiful moment coming from? Unless there's a potential inside, it will not come out. Like no potential for oil, nothing will come out. No oil comes out. So here something's coming out, which means that there's the treasure inside. And that is a treasure. If you just imagine that this beautiful moment of feeling inside you, if that lasts for 24/7, right? You will never have anger. If this feeling of joy is just pervading 24/7, you have no anger issue, there's no feeling of, say, the loss, hopelessness, no room for depression, nothing. You getting it? So this is when the potential inside is awakened fully. So we all have this potential. In fact, for me, the two moments, one was that was in my 30s when I flew to Singapore and my aeroplane landed, touched the airport, touched, and instantly extremely beautiful moment came in my mind. Feeling came in my mind. Not because the Singapore airport is so beautiful. No, we cannot see the airport at all, right? It's just the barren just the tar, the tar ground. That's it. But extreme and pleasant feeling it came to me. That's so tender, a beautiful moment, amazing. Why? Because I could anticipate that there are people waiting outside, people waiting there, who genuinely wants my presence there to learn from what I have to teach them. I know that they are genuinely waiting there. It's not like for the sake of the purpose of, so okay, so we invited him, so he's now here, so now we have to go, right? Someday that was truly missing. It's purely out of this genuineness there. So just the thought of this, so subconsciously, it just triggered this beautiful feeling inside. So there's a treasure inside us. Each one of us, we have this treasure. Even if you may have been through a very depressive life, but this treasure's there within us. Treasures there. So the only thing is that we need to learn how to activate it. Okay, so we have one more sessions this afternoon, and then we will this next session we'll go through the text and we'll explain what is that treasure like. Or we'll stop here. Yeah.